YouTubers, hello subscribers, kisses to all of you. I hope that you're having a wonderful Saturday. I wanted to get back on and thank you so much to my new subscribers. I really do appreciate all the love and the support. And also my seasoned subscribers, thank you, and I appreciate you as always. Why don't some of you say hello to our new subscribers? I came back on here to do that, to finish up what I was talking about with that e-news information. And so, like I said, e-news here is a really big deal. And when I listened to it, I found that e-news wasn't really telling the story correctly. It's like they left out a whole bunch. They didn't say that Scobie was their autobiographer. They didn't say that there was a connection like the UK does. It just blankly says that he's in scramble mode because he's the one that released the names. And so people like my mom, that she's not going to care, but she is going to be like, wait a minute. Now, are they saying Catherine and King Charles is racist? That's going to ring a ding a bell. And maybe that's what e-news is. E-news know that once Piers Morgan said what he said, that everybody is going to be like, okay, what's going on? But I just think that it needs to be clear that Scobie is their biographer. But I do know this. It opened the door for us Americans to figure out. Some don't care. Some want to be. Some is going to be like shocked, and then some they don't care. And what I may do 2 videos. I don't know. Depends on how long it takes me to do this one. But the second one explains how it kind of go into a little bit more detail on Meghan and Harry's deceptiveness. And I also heard that King Charles is stressed out about this and he's not looking the best or whatever. And they have a doctor on site or on call just in case something happens. I'm not, that's word on the street, so take that with a grain of salt. But I do believe this part, that he is stressed, that now he's dealing with his son allowing his wife to call him racist while he is just became king. He just had his coronation this year, and how many times is Meghan going to shoot her daggers from over here to there? Like, she keeps shooting these daggers at the royal family. And all they've been doing is working hard and trying to deal with the losses that they have endured in the last couple of years, and try to deal with the workload that Meghan and Harry, that Harry skipped out on. I'm not even going to say his wife because she doesn't count. And so they're dealing with an economy, and they're dealing with a whole bunch of stuff that they're dealing with. And Meghan, his daughter-in-law, is making things worse instead of better. And that's where it gets real, because Meghan always talks about how they didn't help her with her mental health. She went to HR and they told her to get the hell out of there, and just on and on. And so I missed my point. I went blank totally. But what I know is the person that's always in the mess doing something is the person that is causing the most drama, and Meghan does. And instead of helping the family, supporting them from over here, or, encouraging them to continue to do the good work that they're doing, they're over here trying to, instead of doing that, they're doing the reverse. They're trying to disparage other people from seeing the work that they do. They're trying to make us hate on them so that they won't be popular, so that the royals will fail. And she's trying to rattle them off of their game. She doesn't want Catherine to be smiling with the green dress on, and she doesn't want anybody over there doing anything other than moping and worried about what she's doing. And she's doing it on purpose. And the way she sits down and plot these things out, to me, is really disgusting behavior. Oprah, come on. She said on your show that they were racist, and now Harry said that they wasn't, and now they're back again, and now we're going to name some people. And what has happened is she named the wrong two. And people are not focused on them, though. Only the Sussex Squad is focused on that. We are focused on the fact that she thought it was okay to do this. And it's just like the Oprah show all over again, but it's a little different atmosphere because some of us has gotten fed up with it. And here's the next deal, is that when we get, I really do believe there's going to be an outcry of her titles being stripped, because for some reason, this paper trail is going to end right back into Meghan's lap. And it may not happen tomorrow, but it is going to show that she had everything to do with this. It sounds like her. She to me, had the pen in her hand and was writing verbatim the word, because it's all the same. Remember when we were saying that I didn't think that they were going to write the same book twice. I didn't think they were going to write Spare again, but they did. And I was like, no, she's not going to come out talking about the racism. She's not going to come out talking about how wonderful she is and how horrible they are. But she did do just like that. She did do that, which makes her so predictable. Okay, so let's see what E! News is telling Americans. Because they're either going to, like I said, get upset and be like, okay, here she go with that stupid stuff again. And then Chris Rock already told her that that's not racism. Everybody is curious about what a baby would look like. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter if you're purple or blue. We want to know what the baby's going to look like. And if it's a mixed descendant, we're going to even want to know if it's going to be lighter or darker. Is my baby going to come out more white, or is my baby going to come out more dark? That's what was in my mind. Okay, hold on. And I think what's so interesting to all of us is how Harry can sit back and not say anything or not do anything. I know why, because he's a weak individual. He's not strong enough to stand up to Meghan. He's always been too just not capable of defending himself against this. And and one of you wanted to remind me that Harry is just as worse. You are absolutely, he's worse than her because he's the traitor. I can understand, you know what, I'm sure the family could understand Meghan's motive and kind of push hers to side, like, okay, she's an idiot. But then when you come to Harry and he knows the ins and outs, it's his family that he's betraying. That's his father and his brother can't understand why he has gone this far with the betrayal. And so with that betrayal, Harry just sits back and allows her to continue to shoot daggers at his family. And it's disgusting. It is not a good look, Harry, that you allow your wife to continue to attack your family and call your father, the King of England, racist. Your own father, and you've been living with him for 38 or something years, and you know that's not true. And then you're going to pretend like you just got a lesson in unconscious bias and come back and say, well, it's unconscious bias. No. You know that if you were even in the room during the conversation, that it wasn't any malice to that. But you allowed your wife to get offended by it. You allowed her first. And I knew Harry's been gone since he got on the plane, but I didn't realize how gone Harry was until I saw him pick up that award in New York City on the racism award that he got. That's when I knew that he was under a deep, dark spell. And ever since, this is how it's been going. Spare, docuseries, you name it. They have not ceased to stop throwing daggers. When has Meghan stopped? When she was like in the house when Harry was going on his book tour? No, she wants to get back to people talking to her about her. And she does want to be in the news. She wants to be the center of attention. She wants us over here in America to show her more attention than what we've been giving her. And I know she did this to bring attention to herself. Because and to me, remember we did a video the other day when one of the ladies was saying you have to have a body of information that would award you to be in a position where you were treated wrongly, defamation. Let me say that again. Meghan points out one time that she wasn't even in the room that the racism took down. The lady the other day said, you have to have several instances because the first incident may just be a one-off. And you're like, okay, But maybe the second and third one, if you've been treated with racism, you can kind of get a feel that, okay, for an example. No, I don't want to lose my thought. When I was working for this company, I was training people. I was doing it. I was working the job and doing the job. But then, and with my degrees. And then this one lady came up to me and she says, Letitia, I want to apply for this position. I said, I applied for it too. She said, well, I know I'm not going to get it because I don't even have a degree. I said, well, why don't you just try for it? So she did, and she got the job. She got the job that I was doing, and of course she was white, and I went to employees relations and come to find, but this was the third position I had got passed up for. And that particular one, I said, okay, enough is enough. My point is that it gives you an idea of it being over and over and over again. It wasn't the first time that I had been passed up for positions. And come to find out, I wasn't the only one. I don't even want to continue with the story. I just want to do it as an example that Meghan wasn't even in the room during the conversation. She's never been treated anything other than kind since she stepped foot in there. And she never gave us any other examples of a race situation that she encountered while she was there. And so that's what it tells me, that it wasn't racism. That's another way of striking it and saying, Okay, so let me move on. I hope you got that. That was hard to get out, but I got it out. So E-News is telling us that the racist has been named. And what's interesting about it is Scobie is on there talking about Piers Morgan, which reminds me of how Meghan tries to blame things on everybody else. So now they're blaming Piers Morgan for saying the name that they wrote in a book and gave to the publisher. But now it's Piers Morgan's fault. Because he said the two names. He repeated the names. That's what makes it illegal. It's just interesting how guilty people try to talk their way out of stuff by blaming others. Meghan, she failed at being a royal, and she blamed it on the royal family and the media. She failed at the Spotify deal, but she blamed Spotify. Okay. Let's go.
His side. Let's not forget this.
Okay, this one's
to describe
next.
somebody inquiring about what a baby will look like when
This one's first.
It just keeps getting worse for Endgame author Scobie, who is in damage control. Name drop. It just keeps getting worse for Endgame author Scobie, who is in damage control mode amid the royal name drop heard around the world.
Can you, hand on heart, look me in the eye and say it wasn't a publicity stunt?
On my life, on my family's life.
The royals who are named in this book are King Charles and Catherine, Princess of Wales.
There are irresponsible people in this country that have broken the law and repeated names that should.
Now, Scobie is a lawyer, and he's going to tell us that someone has broken the law because they have repeated something over and over and over again. But what he leaves out of that conversation is that he was the one that gave the person the information to repeat. Scobie, if you haven't given up the two names in the book, then how would Piers Morgan know to repeat those names? He got them from you. So at that point, it's open game. So it's not a legal issue. No, you're just trying to take the focus off of what you've done. Just like the gentleman just said, you're in damage control. But you'll never get out of damage control because you're playing one of Meghan's deals. Let's blame and deny. I didn't know how to be a royal. Look, they're always blaming Megs for everything. I left my life. I left my career. I left everything to be with him. And I did that because I loved him. No, honey. You did that because you needed him. She's using him. She's sucking the life out of Harry. Okay, Scobie line talking about Piers Morgan. Now Piers Morgan done something illegal. So this is blowing my mind. Scobie, he's saying it's Piers Morgan's fault that the names were out. Not that he put it in a book for everybody to see, but Piers Morgan said it, repeated it. And so what that there's some legal ramifications for that. No, it's not. That's that stupid stuff. That don't even make sense. You put it in a book, you publish it, you put it out there, all bets are down. And then now this is Meghan. You want to point the finger and says that Piers Morgan did something illegal because he mentioned the two people that you put in a book for us to read? You wanted us to know. Meghan wanted us to know. That's why Meghan hasn't said anything. They can't come out against him because then they will look crazy to him. And he'll probably turn on them and says, no, they wanted me to do this. Oh, no. You can't be trusted. He gonna turn on them. I have a feeling. But I do believe Meghan is being quiet because she can't say anything. But I heard that she came out with a funky statement talking about how they did not want the names to come out this way. That's what she said. In other words, how did you want it to come out? On a platter? On a plane? You wanted to be the one to say it? What? You wanted us to know. If you didn't, you wouldn't have been, you still wouldn't be talking about this. But she is. This is interesting. Let's move on. Because I did tell my husband 15 minutes.
In this book are King Charles.
Let's hear him say it again.
It just keeps
Listen
getting worse
this.
for endgame author Scobie, who is in damage control mode amid the royal name drop heard around the world.
Can you, hand on heart, look me in the eye and say it wasn't a publicity stunt?
On my life, on my family's life.
The royals who are named
On my life
in this
and
book
on my family
are
life.
King
Lying.
Charles and
He's
Catherine.
lying. You don't do this in saying something correctly that you agree with. I learned that from the body language people, that when you're shaking your head and supposed to be doing it this way and you're doing it this way, you're lying. No. Yes, I did not. Let's move on.
Princess of Wales.
There are irresponsible people in this country that have broken the law and repeated names that should never have been repeated.
I don't believe any racist comments were ever made by any of the royal family.
Do you want to apologise to the royal family, to those names that are out there?
It's not for me to apologise because I still want to know what's happened.
What do you mean you want to know what happened? You knew what happened. You put it in a book. The book is called Endgame, idiot. Endgame. Boom. There you go. It's the endgame. I put the names out there. Boom. What else more do you need to know? From whom? Where do you think you're going to get more information with? His answers doesn't make sense. I'm not apologizing because I want to get to, as he's saying, the investigation.
Brazenly.
Do you want to apologise to the royal family, to those names that are out there?
It's not for me to apologise because I still want to know what's happened.
Okay, I get it now. He's saying that he doesn't want to apologize because he still wants to know what happened. That's still stupid. You still want to know what happened? I'm not going to apologize because I still want to know what happened. I don't want to apologize because I still want to know what happened. It still doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't. It doesn't make any sense that if he wanted to get to know who said it, he should have said as much. If he wanted to get to the bottom of what happened, he did say that. He did say, I want to get to the bottom of it. That's why I'm not apologizing. But that doesn't have to do, neither one of those have to do with the other. Apologizing and just saying, oops, I don't know how it got there and we're still investigating it and I'm sorry that it's in there. He's not sorry. That's the point. He is not sorry. He wanted those names in the book. And that's the reaction he gave us was, that's what I felt. Like, I wanted to get to the bottom of what? The bottom of what happened? You know what happened. I wonder, are they going to have like some real investigators on this? Let's move on.
A brazenly unapologetic Omid says he found out about the Dutch edition mishap on social media and that it remains under investigation. We're told the incident has infuriated royal family members, and today King Charles seemed to make a veiled reference to the
I found out just like everybody else. Well, yeah, you were just waiting on someone to say oopsie daisy. I know he was waiting on that phone call because he knew he had did it. So he probably was waiting on the big shebang.
All out in his speech.
Listen to it.
In 2050, our grandchildren won't be asking what we said. They will be living with the consequences of what we did or didn't do.
I think this is one of my favorite speeches. I mean, you can apply that to anyone, especially Meghan. And Harry, I'm going to apply it to Meghan really quick. Your kids and your grandkids are going to be looking at you trying to figure out why you did the things you did. What else did he say? Why you did the things you did and why you didn't do anything to stop it, Harry. That was for Harry. Harry, the ball is in your corner, your father is trying to tell you. He's saying it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I've already talked about it. I won't go into it a whole lot. But Harry's father is telling him that you will be judged. And you may not be judged by anybody that you care about right now. But when you get older and your kids are looking at you and you rocking in that rocking chair, you're not going to feel good about yourself the way you talked about your brother and what you called your family. I think the ultimate betrayal was him calling them racist. The ultimate betrayal was allowing Meghan to link up with Omid Scobie and continue the charade. Okay, hold on, guys. Oh, I had you pause for a while. I think that's about it for that. I think he starts going into Catherine, which I think is really great, and said that she stepped out with her husband on a royal event. Here, let's hear it.
Elbows with Cher and Hannah Waddingham in London post-scandal. But the couple may want to brace themselves because the early days of their romance is about to play.
So that's it. Yeah, they're talking about The Crown, which I don't watch. Okay, let's do this last one really quick. And I may post this one tomorrow because I know I've given you so much tonight. So
to describe somebody inquiring about what a baby will look like when it's born as racist is misleading, nonsensical, and frankly, wicked. It's perverse, it's libelous, and it's profoundly wrong. In fact, to unfairly call someone racist is evil. Enter Stage Left, a book written by Harry and Meghan's favourite journalist, Omid Scobie. A man who looks like he's had more work done than Sharon Osbourne and Cher combined. And in that book, he makes that very accusation. The two people who have had a finger pointed at them are two of the most senior members of the royal family, King Charles and the Princess of Wales, Princess Kate, with zero tangible evidence that that conversation happened, or if it did, that it was conducted in malice. For the love of God, throughout the history of humanity, every family that ever existed, mums and dads, uncles, aunties, grandparents, have always speculated on what the baby is going to look like. I'll tell you a personal story. When my two kids were on the way, that was the conversation that dominated our family.
I even asked my girlfriend that does my nails. She's Hispanic, and I was asking her, I said, girl, who do you think the baby gonna look like, you or your husband? You think you'll have your eyes or something like that? Just having a conversation with her about what her baby would look like. And now he looks just like his daddy, so adorable. But it's not, once again, it's a conversation of curiosity.
Occasions. In the end, I'm delighted to say that the kids got my good looks and charm and their mother's short temper and feet. These so-called revelations, which are really just ugly mudslinging, are not about truth or tackling the appalling scourge of actual racism. This is about publicity.
This is mudslinging. It's nothing new that Meghan is saying. She's still talking about her sister-in-law. She's still trying to make William to be a bully and some mean person. And then, you know, I don't know what talking about Charles and trying to embarrass him. And it's not. And then, you know, she's going down the list, Anne and all of them. It's like she made a list and put down each their name, Catherine, William. We're going to put racism next to Catherine and King Charles. And then we're going to put this section in the, you know. That's what they did. This is what we're going to put Anne in there because she took the cottage. And turning around with her red hat. What is you talking about? You don't live here no more. You're not here anymore. You left. You lied and said you were going to do all this stuff and you still ain't done it. But you're over here really wreaking havoc on your family. And we are sitting here watching it in real time, and it's despicable. It's really a no-no. And they have every right in the world to cut you guys off and never speak to you ever again. And I would make peace with that. I would make peace with that. Because you don't want hate in your heart, but you don't want to continue to be mistreated and being used. And the biggest thing is that you can't trust someone around you to be decent and polite. No, they're not going to be decent. They're going to take notes and try to use whatever notes they collected as collateral damage to blackmail you. This is some blackmailing crap that Meghan is doing. I believe she was withholding those names for a reason. I know I said this before, and the reason is because she's waiting for an apology. And she keeps telling them, if you don't make an apology to me, I'm going to keep putting out more crap. But like this morning, as someone said, checkmate, it's over. She done named it. Now, what else other would they have to say or do? But they won't ever get the chance to see that because they have cut them off. They can't come in the kingdom wiring it up and taking and listening to people's conversations and then coming on the Oprah show telling us what's going on. Thank you for your comments. I want to read some of them. They are so good. Let me tell you something. You guys strike up videos every time I'm reading it. I'm like, oh my God, I wish I had said that. So kisses to you guys.
About keeping Harry and Meghan in the headlines. Author Omid Scobie is not the problem here. Let's talk about Harry. Is Harry really happy to stand by whilst his own father...
It is not Omid Scobie. I don't have any feelings for him other than, oops, shame on you. But I feel strongly about Meghan and Harry being their book. This is their book. This is part 2. They took some of that stuff and put it in there, and then here we are again. Kate's this horrible person, and she's horrible to Meghan. Nobody else. She's not mean to Harry, but she's mean to her. Harry, it is your responsibility to protect your family from foreign entities, for someone that is bent on destroying them. And you know what? Check this out. Remember, Harry wants to reconcile. He wants to reconcile. He wants to reconcile. Harry's calling his dad to reconcile. Remember all that leakage of reconciliation? No, that was just them bracing us for the book to pretend that they're being family with their family. They're pretending that everything is peachy cute. Okay, and we're on the road to, becoming a happy family again. Harry wants to get over and talk to his family. He's homesick and all this other BS. No, all that's washed out. No, you have named two people that don't deserve your wrath. And I said I was going to stop talking to her directly because I don't like it. So I'm going to work on it. No. But Harry, it is your responsibility to protect your family from her. But you can't even protect your family from her. You won't. You wouldn't, and you didn't. And like King Charles said, he said, you will be judged by the things that you did and the things that you didn't do. Whoa. I love the speech. The speech is the speech, okay? If I had my channel together, that would be what I would play right there. King Charles's voice. We will be judged. That was so good. I don't know where he got that from, if he made it up himself, but let me tell you something. He is really rocking it as a king. And for him to say that, it's Harry's responsibility to stop the vitriol. He's the only one that can, because Meghan will continue. She's on a voyage to do it. All aboard.
Is characterized as a man responsible for prejudice. The Sun newspaper report that Charles is devastated by this latest revelation. The paper report that the king looked visibly exhausted at the COP28 summit in UAE, and that, wait for it, his doctor was rarely far from his side.
His doctor. Now, you remember back in the day when Meghan's father had a stroke, and that first one, and now that second one. And I believe it's due to the stress. You can't tell me that he ain't a little stressed out from his daughter kicking him to the curb. He still hasn't seen her. He's grieving. This will be talking about somebody that sister coming for her. Samantha is suing her. She's not talking to her dad. She's calling people racist over there in the Royals. And then no one wants to work with her. She's in Hollywood looking like a desperate flower. One of them doom flowers. Desperate for anything. But in the end, this is what she has become. She's elderly abuse. Thank you, subscribers. Elderly abuse. This is what you would call elderly abuse. Calling him racist. He's 75 years old, and she's calling him racist, just like one of my subscribers broke it down to me. She said, King Charles has been everywhere, from every country, every nationality, embraced every culture. Why would he be racist against us? Thank you, subscriber. I wish I could read your post. I may pin it. If I pin your post, I just really want people to read it. And if I pin it and it's gone, it doesn't mean that I didn't pin it. It just means that, you're number 2, number 3. It's not a bad thing. If you got pinned, it's just, I want to recognize your post. And I would like to recognize everyone's post, so read everyone's. It's great. No, he's making his father's his reign, his last days, where he is supposed to be taking care of the country, miserable. Harry is causing him grief. Never, probably in a million years, did he think that accepting this, what do some of y'all call her, all kinds of stuff, migraine and, oof.
Let's not forget, this man has one of the...
His doctor is on standby. His doctor is on notice. His doctor is watching him. That's what he said, and I do believe that. And so while Meghan keeps going around hurting elderly people for her own personal gain, her own selfishness, just because she hasn't been getting a lot of attention in America and wants attention, she's signed up to do this book with Scobie. I believe it. I do. She hasn't come out and really denounced it like she denounced everything else she denounces. Everybody should have got a copy. But here's the deal. They stand by him. They're not going to denounce it. She showed him the letters. That's what they said. Come on.
His jobs in the country. He carries a huge responsibility and burden, and he is 75 years of age. What is this doing to his health? Excuse me, what did this sick soap opera do to the health of our great queen, the late great Elizabeth II? And how much damage will this cause to the monarchy of this country?
Yeah. Meghan called the queen racist in her final days. Because remember, she said they. And just because she called the next day and said that it wasn't her, it is her. She is the house. She is everything. She is every person. When you attack her, you attacked everyone. When you said the family was racist, you can't, that's that petty BS Meghan stuff. You're going to separate, just like my lips gloss here. You can't, this is going to be Queen Elizabeth just for a second. You can't separate Elizabeth from her family, from her country. You can't. It's not, then how is this going to work if I'm separating this? And this is over here and this is somewhere else. So if I attack this, if I take you and attack you, I attack this by removing this from it and throwing it away. What happens to Elizabeth? Meghan. This is her family. This is everything. This is everything that she knows and loves. And you're trying to see, no, it wasn't these people. And no, it wasn't this person. It was these people. They're one. They're one together. Elizabeth is one with her country and her family. And when you said what you said, it was all of them. And so even though they're naming them, it doesn't matter who she named. She attacked them all. And Harry should be appalled. He should feel like he's being attacked. She's attacking your family. You idiot.
The other figure to be targeted alongside our poor old monarch is Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Are you telling me that this 41-year-old woman who grew up in diverse, multicultural Britain is some kind of a frenzied white supremacist and a flag bearer for the KKK? Do me.
He said, you're telling me she's some white supremacist and hanging out with the KKK. He's right. That is how she had trying to have us have them look at her. That's how she's trying to defame her and trash her. Like she's some type of, she is so far from, it's stupid.
Favor. Now, the Sussexes are clear that they've got nothing to do with this book, but if these unfounded accusations are allowed to hang in the air, then that's it for Harry. It's game over. We, the British people, won't have him back. Now, the Sussexes are clear that they've got nothing to do with this book, but if these unfounded accusations are allowed to hang in the air, then that's it for Harry. It's game over. We, the British people...
To have hanging in the hair. This is tripping me out that they wait. I mean, it's tripping me out because they are waiting for him to denounce it. Denounce what? Denounce what? They wanted this in the book. They're not going to say anything. They're not going to go against it. Meghan can't say a whole lot. What is she going to say? No, we did not do this. This is not us. We denounced the book. This says, no, she approves it. She's somewhere hiding right now because remember she was in them parking lots and every time we turn around, she was in the parking lot. Now she's missing in action. They're not going to come out and say anything against Omid Scobie. They're not. And the more time, and it's not never complain, never explain. You can't use that one because you talked way too much. You're the one doing this. You're talking to us through this. You wanted the American people to know one more time that there was something going on and this would happen to me. And you finally have flipped over your last card. Because people are going to get really pissed. I do believe it. I do believe it. Listen to him. He's upset. He's upset. He just said Harry is no longer welcome back. Period. End of discussion.
Won't have him back, even if his family will. The couple, we're told, are not behind these named allegations in the book, but their silence is deafening. They could kill the story at a stroke. But they won't, because they've got nothing else. Their currency is victimhood. Sorry, folks, I'm done with these two. It's not au revoir for me. It's goodbye and good riddance.
Ooh. Well, I'm going to see if he talk about them again. He's upset. He sounds upset. Listen, kisses to you. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that this was the video what I wanted to do earlier today, but I was busy and I'm going to go ahead and post this and I hope you enjoy it. Kisses and have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.